Yeah, good morning. This is Bang Bang Ray Hill. Please press the like button and subscribe. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about some of the guys that I mentioned yesterday. Wicked, the wicked ones out of them, the ones that I've seen that can be very, very wicked. Yeah, you got ones there that can that just like have a fight with you, and just a couple of punches and would hurt you really bad. And you got some there that would knock you out and stab you up and cut you to pieces. Yeah, and I'm going to mention a couple of those. Yeah. And the first one I've got here, right, is Billy Blundell, yeah? Billy Blundell can have a fight, yeah? But Billy Blundell's a very wicked man. You can't muck about with him, mate. He would stab you up. He would cut your throat, his eyes are winking. He would look at you and just cut your throat. He's a very, very wicked man, mate. Very dangerous man. That's why he was so... big respect, mate. He had big respect in prison. And he had big respect when he was outside, yeah. His brother Eddie, a nice guy. As I say, I met them when I come out of prison. I went to where they live, and they got a big fish place there. They do all the carp fishing, and they've got a ring in the front room. But Billy Blundell's a very wicked man, mate. He's very, very dangerous indeed. And he's one of the top ones, us being the most dangerous person I've ever met, yeah. The second one I've got down is Pat McCann, yeah? Pat McCann, I know Pat McCann on the street. I know him in prison. But on the street, Pat McCann was very dangerous as well. Pat McCann can have a right fight. Pat McCann would use anything to oblige you. He can have a right fight. Dangerous. He doesn't need tools, but he is... If you get him at the wrong time, mate, he will cut you up, mate. He will carve you up in pieces, mate. He would carve you up in little pieces, Pat McCann. Another very dangerous man, you know. People that can have a fight as well and will cut you up. I'm one of the people that just have a fight, and I wouldn't want to hit you with big iron bars and things like that and cut you up and stab you up, and that ain't my game, yeah. But a lot of people are. Another one, Cliff Hills, you know. Cliff Hills is not that... Cliff Hills... Isn't that way at all? But I have seen Cliff Hills working with us, yeah, hitting people with bars, yeah, iron bars, and really steaming into them and really obliging them and not smashing them to pieces all around the legs or around the arms. Maybe that's a different thing. Maybe he's not stabbing people up, you know, but and cutting people, chopping people up bad. But I've seen him oblige people with iron bars when I've been with him, and really bad, and I had to just pull him aside and tell him to stop it when he goes into one, and he's quite hard to stop Cliff Fields. He's a big, powerful man, and if he hits you on the chin, mate, and you go over, and you're still a bit of an handful, he will smash you to pieces with whatever he's got wrapped around. And Cliff Fields, another dangerous person, yeah. People think he's just a fighter with his hands, but he's also a fighter with anything in his hands, yeah. And he can have it, mate. He can really have it, Cliff Fields. Big respect. A geezer that is really dangerous in that respect is Jimmy Wilkinson. Jimmy Wilkinson can really fight, mate. I've seen him have a few fights. There's a lot. I'll go back a long way with Jimmy, more so than maybe a lot of people. I know his cousins, John, and all that game when they had the fruit stalls. Jimmy Wilkinson can really have it, and he's such a dangerous man, mate. He would chop you up in pieces, Jimmy Wilkinson. Chop you up and just feed you to the lions. Jimmy Wilkinson, another one you should never muck about with. He don't. If you beat him, he come back. He will come back and chop you up. He was one dangerous man, Jimmy Wilkinson, and I had big respect for Jimmy. Even though me and Jimmy fell out, I had big respect for him, mate. He could really have it, and rest in peace, mate. Anyway, there's a one here like a lot of people. He is a supergrass. He's the first supergrass ever, Bertie Smalls. Bertie Smalls, I met him down a club that used to be owned by. Do you know what? I hate this. Do you know when I forget people's names and people's clubs? The club in Harrow. Mickey Green's club, sorry, I should know Mickey Green. I know Mickey Green really well, but I'm terrible with names, yeah. But Mickey Green's club, I met Bertie Smalls down there, and You know, a couple of times I've been told stories about Bertie Smalls, where he's cut people up, tortured them, this, that, and the other. Bertie Smalls, another dangerous person that I've been in prison with. All these people I've been in prison with. None of them are just on the street. I've been in prison, yeah, and they're all dangerous people. Bertie Smalls, I know he was a supergrass, and because he was a supergrass, everyone wanted to kill him. But he was a dangerous man, and he was one of the guys that would climb through your window, yeah, and chop you up. That's quite dangerous, you know, when you're sleeping, come through your window. I've got Vicky Dart. Vicky Dart, mate. He's another dangerous person. Vicky Dart. I mean, you know, he's like a ninja. Vicky Dart. You know what I mean? When the police were chasing him, he hid under the water with a straw hanging out of his mouth, breathing air through his straw, so they couldn't find him. You know what I mean? And Vicky Dart is dangerous. He will chop you up, mate. He's a dangerous man. I've got big respect for Vicky Dart. He can have it as well. I love Vicky. You wouldn't want to get the wrong side of him, mate. You wouldn't really want to get the wrong side of Vicky Dart. Vicky Dart. He don't like being called Vicky. Vic Dart, you know, I apologise, respect. But you know, he's another dangerous man. He's one of the top of my list, Vicky Dart, and I like him, mate. He's a pal of mine, yeah. Do you know, like, a lot of people don't know this guy, Barry Murphy, yeah? Barry Murphy from Ladbroke Grove, Notting Hill. Short, stocky guy. Could have it, Barry. He can really have it. I like Barry Murphy. I liked him a lot. Met him in prison. I met him in the scrubs. Barry was quite an handful, Barry. I mean, he surprised me, Barry. I've seen him do people with bottles, bump in the face and around the neck area, don't muck about, mate. He's quite dangerous, Barry, but I didn't think he was like that, you know, because he's short, stocky guy. I thought, no, he ain't like that, and he is a very dangerous man. Johnny Hanlon, the bully. Johnny Hanlon can have a right fight. He doesn't need to pick things up. He doesn't need to stab people, but he does. He stabs people really bad. He's quite an animal in that respect. I've seen him bash people up, and I've seen him steaming. So you've got to pick a big brick or piece of wood and batter the guy with a piece of wood or a big stone. You know what I mean? And smash all the hands, all the legs, all the arms. I mean, in the way I suppose he's doing it so they don't come back. But John, he can have a right fight, John Allen. But a bully, he can have a right fight, mate. Leslie McIntyre, my mate, black guy, Leslie McIntyre. Me and Leslie go back a long way, me and him. Friends for many years, 40 years, 50 years. Leslie McIntyre, the guy can have a right fight, mate, Les, and he is a very dangerous man. He would carve you up, mate. He would cut you to pieces. He would take your face off he would take all the skin off your face. And if you had a fight with him, and it was a fight, and he beat you, he would just find something and really oblige you. I've seen Leslie in action. I've seen Leslie do it. I've had to pull Leslie off of people where he goes too far, goes too over the top, mate. And I've told him straight, you know, he's got to knock all that on the head, mate, because he wound up killing someone, mate. But he hasn't ever killed anybody, but he maims them in such a way you think he was going to die, you know what I mean? Leslie McIntyre, mate of mine. Who else? Mickey Blackmore. Mickey Blackmore, rest in peace, mate. Mickey Blackmore was a hitman. He's evidently, this is what I've been told by my father-in-law. My father-in-law died. Mickey Blackmore was a hitman. He's done a lot of people. You know, he don't muck about, Mickey Blackmore, mate. He used to torture people like he's going out of fashion. Very dangerous man, Mickey Blackmore. A lot of people know Mickey Blackmore. I think he lived in the Elephant Castle. He's got a big family. A big respect goes to Mickey Blackmore, mate, from Ray Hill. I like Mickey. I liked him. He was friends with my family, with my wife's family, Danny Johnson, who was friends with my father-in-law, Mickey Johnson. Mickey Blackmore was one of the most dangerous men I know. He wouldn't want to get in charge. He just had one of them things where he went into one, and I think it was, I don't know what he had. It was like mad. It was, if you didn't want to upset him, mate. I seen him in prison, have a fight, go away, come back and smash the guy with a bucket, a mop bucket, and really bash him up with a mop bucket. I mean, a metal mop bucket, and smash him to pieces. After he's already beat him up, he come back and be smashing him with a mop bucket. He has to be pulled off, yeah? Mickey Blackmore, dangerous man, mate. A very dangerous man. And I like Mickey, and rest in peace, Mickey, mate. He got shot over in Holland. They done him about 5 or 6 times in the head. They shot him. And he got brought back to England. And Mickey Blackmore, mate, nice fella. One of my best mates in prison, I met him outside, Peter Kelly. Peter Kelly, big guy, mate, 6'4", 19-20 stone. Good on the pavement, good arm robber, mate, good arm robber. But Peter Kelly, very, very dangerous man, mate. I was in prison with him. I've seen him do lots of damage in prison with people. I've seen him chip people up, car people up with a toothbrush and a blade, and do them bad, yeah. Cut them up to pieces. Peter Kelly can have a right fight, but a really, really dangerous and respected man. A lot of people in Bermondsey, all around them areas around Bermondsey, Blackheath, Catford, Deptford, Woolwich, all around there know Peter Kelly. And Peter Kelly, big guy, but very, very dangerous. I like Peter. I missed him a lot, mate. I've got lots of photographs of Peter Kelly from his missus. And I big respects, mate. Rest in peace, Peter Kelly. And I really liked him, mate. He's a good pal of mine. But you had him on your side, you knew you were safe, yeah? Peter Kelly. Who else? Mickey Francis. Mickey Francis, he was a dark skin. He was a traveller, but not a traveller. He was in the family, very dark skin. I was in Chelmsford prison with him. These are guys that I bet. Listen, he could have a fight, Mickey Francis. He wasn't afraid of no man. He was very, very quiet. You wouldn't want to upset him, mate. I see him in the gym. At Garth, big black guy, that was doing squats, and Garth took the piss out of Mickey Francis, took the Mickey out of him, and I see Mickey Francis walk away, come back with a great big weight, 5 kilo weight, and smash Garth over the head, and kept hitting him all around the body, you know. And Mickey Francis is, as far as I'm concerned, could see. He was a nutcase. He used to tell me stories about where he comes from and the damage he used to cause. He's one of my men. He's one of my top men, Mickey Francis. Nice guy, but dangerous. Really, really dangerous. I'm talking about when you talk about this. I don't really. I mean, to me, a dangerous person is a person that bashes someone up, knocks him out, and whatever, and goes back and gets something and cut him to pieces. That's a dangerous person in my life, you know. Or come one of them ones that climb through your window. I used to be Mickey. Oh, what was his name? I was away in Albany with this guy. I forget his name. What's his name? And this guy wasn't that big. Everybody was petrified of him, upsetting him if he was on the road, yeah? He was one of them guys, like Jimmy Wilkinson, and like a few others I've named, that would climb through your window and chop you up. What's his name? Something, I'll get it. This guy was a madman. Mad. He's one of the guys in Albany that, because Albany's got the click doors, the electric doors, he's one of the guys that made people put wedges in their doors, yeah? So when it clicked, people couldn't get into you to stab you up. He's one of the guys that got that put in, because he's one of the guys that used to do that. Steaming in your cells, like in Wandsworth, in the scrubs, them sort of prisons with no clicks on the doors, just door just opens up, yeah? And he was dangerous man, Mickey, what was his name? Mickey something. Anyway, I will get it, but this guy was dangerous, you know. Who else? well, look, you can't. I mean, people like Eddie Richardson. You know what I mean? I mean, different people, mate. Different people. There was gangsters, proper gangsters. As I said, I used to go down and see a guy called Johnny Critterton. He was head of the Travellers, a king of the Travellers, really. Johnny Critterton, One Eye John. Oh, he talked like that all the time. Very dangerous, very respected man. Yeah, but he used to work for Eddie. I think he was one of Eddie's people that used to torture people. So the story goes. He tells me stories. And one of the things he used to do, mate, fight the life out of me, you know what I mean? The way he electrocute people and put things in people's mouths and all that, and make them cross their jaws and all that sort of thing, and pull the teeth out and all that. And that's another one, Frankie Fraser, isn't it? But Frankie Fraser isn't on my list at all. Frank really couldn't have a fight, yeah? But Frankie Fraser was one of the ones, I suppose, because he couldn't have a fight, he was very dangerous. I mean, you know, they say that when Billy Hill used to lay people on the floor and all this sort of thing, and Frankie Fraser would cut them to pieces, chop them up, you know. But obviously they couldn't have a row. But if you was on the floor, mate, or sitting in a chair tied up, Frank was one of the ones that pull your teeth out and cut you to pieces. So that's dangerous, man, isn't it? That's a dangerous. He's dangerous, Frankie Fraser. A lot of people think it was just talk, but believe me, when you talk to people like Johnny Critterton, worked with Richardson's, and Johnny Critterton told me a story about Frankie Fraser, and Frank was an handful. He was dangerous, very, very dangerous. He's not on my list of top hard men who can never really row, but he'd be on the top of my list for one of the most dangerous men that are going, yeah? He was dangerous, mate. I mean, you know, he worked for Eddie Richardson and Charlie, you know, and I suppose you don't need someone that can have a fight if you've got someone to torture to find out all the ins and outs, and he found all the ins and outs out. So, yeah, Frankie Fraser would be on top of my list as dangerous, yeah. But not having the fight. He's not hard as such, anyway. Do you know what? I've got a few here that I'm not too sure of, really. I've seen him have fights in prison. Manny Clark, I know his dad, Manny Clark. I know Georgie Clark, the old man. He died. Rest in peace, mate. I know Freddie Clark. Rest in peace, mate. Freddie Clark fought some big, heavy people. I think he fought Tommy Farr for the world title, heavyweight title. Freddie Clark got a bad leg, but this guy can have it, mate. Oh, dear. George, the old man, Georgie Clark, he could have it. He could dangerous people. Manny Clark, listen to some of the stories he tells you, he's dangerous, mate. He's wicked, very wicked man, and he's dangerous. But Manny Clark, he does a lot of unlicensed fighting. He did, I don't know if he still does it. My mate Matt Legg knows him. Manny Clark, dangerous, mate. Manny Clark, a lot of people know him. He can have a fight, Manny Clark. He's not a fool. He can have he can really march on. And I've got big respect for Manny Clark, yeah? Big respect for Manny Clark, big talk, mate. And that's about it, really. Roy Atkins. I wasn't with Roy very long in Chelmsford Prison. Roy was on a different wing. I think it was on B wing. I don't know. He was doing a big sentence, 3-4 years. I'm not quite sure. I've heard a lot of stories about Roy Atkins. Bad stories as well, you know, as far as hurting people. He was another hitman, Roy Atkins. They shot him over in Holland too. They done him over there. He doesn't seem supposed to go. Everybody goes over there for the red light thing and all that crap, but it doesn't seem the place to go if you're a bit of a gangster. You're going to get chopped, so they're going to top you up over there, you know. Dangerous people. There's people that I've not mentioned that I don't want to mention. Mates that I've been mates with. Don't want to put them up as such. But I've got loads more to put up. I will put a load more up that I've met in prison that can really have it. Other nicks I've been to, other prisons I've been in quite a few prisons, you know, after 26 and a half years I've been about, you know what I mean? I've seen some dangerous people in there, people that just chop you up. I mean, my game, I don't think, at the time I was in prison, when I was a kid, first, kids, 18, 19, 20, 21, I don't think at that time that I could be touched by anybody. I was a handful, mate. I was a big, powerful guy that could really march on, could really have it. But like everything, people have been trying to stab me in the cinema. I was in the cinema, two brothers started stabbing me up. I just got away with the skin of my teeth. When I was in Albany, they tried to do me with pencils, stab me up with pencils when I was watching a film. They always do in the cinema, yeah. But I had a feeling they was going to do it. They was going to do me in the back. And the old thing was to get away with there was put books around an overcoat and put books and tie up. So anybody stabs you in the back reason, the books will stop it, yeah. But I've really come unstuck there when I was at Albany, where people try to stab me up with pencils. I mean, that's quite a tool, you know, a pencil or a pen. It's quite a tool. The one is the pencil, yeah. It sharpens the nib. The nib's really boom, straight in the middle of the lead. It goes straight in, mate. Don't muck about. It goes straight in, yeah. And that is a thing you have to be careful of. That and the razor, you know, in the toothbrush. But in Albany, when I was there was quite a few people that got the black guy around with that walked about with plastic knives. But I'm on about not them plastic knives you eat in prison with, but I'm on about knives they make up in the shops, yeah, plastic knives. They're more wicked than the metal ones. Yeah, man. And a lot of them are walking about. Albany was a bit bad for that. Was a bit bad for being cut up. I see quite a few people cut up in Albany. Quite a few people get done with hot water with the sugar in. That wasn't that popular, you know. Someone must have. That wasn't that popular in my times. In my times, it was straight fights, but it was getting stabbed up, you know, getting stabbed up. And a lot of people, I met quite a few people who been cut up with pineapple cans, with a pineapple tin, the lid. I see quite a few people get cut up with a pineapple lid because pineapple lid, for some reason, gets really jagged, you know, more so than the others. And yeah, that's quite a wicked tool. They put that in soap, cut the bars of soap, and they just slide it in and make a thing of it. And you don't want to be cut with that, mate. They rip it to pieces. I remember when they done that, Tom Lashley, they cut him up bad with a pineapple tin across there, mate. I mean, they cut, it was about half an inch wide from there to right around to his mouth. Cut him up bad, mate. I've seen quite a few people get cut with that, but not so much around the face, around the arse and all them sort of places. My mate Togi Ludlow, he was one of the people that if Togi was walking about the wing, you see these films, don't you, where people walking around the wing and people pass them blades and bits and pieces. Well, Togi was one of them, yeah. My mate Togi, he can have a fight, but not a fight, yeah. But he, if you see him on the move with 3 or 4 guys, you know that someone's going to get it. Someone's going to get plunged up. So everybody watched it. I like Togi. I mean, same manner. My pal, I was safe, yeah? Always safe when he was around. But he was one of the people that, you know, you had to talk to him and say if someone wanted to be obliged. If he was walking about 3 or 4 people, mate, you knew that if he wasn't there's no reason for him being on that landing or whatever, you knew that he was going to do something. Togi Ludlow, my mate, he plunged someone up. He was a very dangerous man, Togi Ludlow. I mean, there's quite a few people on my podcast from my manor that know him. There's quite a few more people that I know that them sort of people are not on my hard men things there, but men would really cut you up bad. I mean, I've heard a lot of stories about young Yammy. Was a Danish man, young Yammy. He was Danish, not young, but he was younger than me, yeah. But he was quite Danish, Yammy. Yammy was one of them people that they give things to and he would rip you to pieces, you know. And you wouldn't think so by looking at him, but he was quite a Danish man, Yammy. I got respect for him in that respect, you know what I mean? You know, you got to really when they do that, you know. They don't really care, you know. Dangerous. I mean, there's a few people I'd love to say, but I can't, yeah. For certain reasons, I won't, yeah. Anyway, this is Bang Bang Mail. Please press the like button and subscribe, and good morning.